Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech and welcome to a new video. This video today is going to be absolutely epic. We're running a triple shadow team once again. We finally had a league rotation so we can get a little bit of a breath of fresh air into a new meta, right? We are running a triple shadow team, and lo and behold, we're actually running Shadow Caesar in the lead once again. I feel like it's a really safe Pokemon. I'm really comfortable with it. And considering the two Pokemon that we're going to be running in the back that I'm going to show you in a second, I feel like it's well warranted. So let's go check out what these two Pokemon are. And as you can see, we got Shadow Dialga with a really decent IV spread and Shadow Palkia with an absolutely garbage IV spread. Believe it or not, the IVs on Palkia didn't really matter much. The thing is insanely squishy. I don't think it's gonna matter. If you want to run this team, feel free. I can't guarantee you're gonna do really well with it. To be honest, we started seeing like some really terrible Pokemon for us to see, like Mud Slappers and such. But I will say we did insanely well. I believe we went 14-6 with this team. We ran 4 sets with it. So 14-6 or 16-4, something like that. Either way, we did pretty decently well with a team that has a triple shadow and a double legendary. So without anything else to say, let's go ahead and check out these battles, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about when I tell you this team went crazy. So we see an abysmal lead, right? We see Empoleon. I should have swapped in Dialga here. We actually like wall the entire moveset, but this was one of the first times I saw Empoleon, so I didn't really know how to play it. And as you can see, we're also running Fire Blast. I don't think the Dragon nukes on both of these Pokemon are really worth running right now since there's so many fairies. So you kind of need that extra oomph, right? Like the coverage, especially on Dialga. Thunder against Azumarill goes absolutely insane. We can come in and farm in this Florges right away. They bring in a Turtonator, and believe it or not, I didn't really know this yet, but if Dialga lands about 14 or 15 Dragon Breaths and you cap tie the Turtonator, you can actually knock out with an Iron Head. So you win the zeros pretty comfortably against the Turt. It's a really cool thing. I was actually about to top left here, but I forgot how much energy I had on Caesar. And we can actually just cap tie the Empoleon, and we're one off the move, so we don't take the Incinerate damage, and we're able to take that game. So really spooky first game, but we played it really well dancing around that Turtonator. This is what I mean with this Turtonator lead, right? We bring in Dialga, they bring in Florges. We still have Palkia in the back to deal with that Turtonator if worse comes to worse, which it might. I'm gonna call the bait here because I really just need the shields down, right? And my opponent actually chilling waters us. So we're able to take shield and switch advantage. There's an Altaria in the back. We call the swap into the Turtonator, and I mean, this is just game over, right? We have a Night Slash on Caesar, and I know this looks really dire, right? Aqua Tails into Altaria. This is not gonna be great, right? Watch this. These Aqua Tails are gonna do so much freaking damage. I was considering going for a Fire Blast, but I'm not really gonna get there. Fire Blast does do a little more damage, but look at this double Aqua Tail. It's gonna do the damage I need. I don't even need Caesar anymore. It was an absolutely crazy reveal that Palkia's Aqua Tails are just nuts. We see a decent lead in the next match. We see Giratina in the lead. They make an amazing catch on the Turtonator, but again, I don't really mind this, right? I have like a very hard answer to this Pokemon. We can actually like throw super early here, and if they want a shield to get their move off, feel free. But I'm gonna get a bunch of Dragon Breath damage into that Giratina. They actually bring in Weezing, and they can get this farm down, but these Aqua Tails, look at that crap, dude. Those Aqua Tails went absolutely crazy. I believe I might have thrown on bad timing there, so maybe I could have gotten to it a second Aqua Tail, but again, the animations are just so tricky, especially with Pokemon that you don't really see very often. I'm gonna bring in Dialga here. I should be able to no shield this. We should survive, get the Iron Head off into this Weezing. We actually just BM and throw the Thunder because it doesn't matter, and Weezing recognizes that. They die with 2 shields, and we're able to take that game. On to the next battle here. We got Turtonator in the lead Really spooky. I'm gonna start doing one bullet punch and swapping just so I have a little bit of residual energy in the back. Togekiss comes in, which definitely isn't a good Pokemon to see, but it is worse for my Dialga than it is for my Palkia. And our opponent actually misplays here. They let us get to another Aqua Tail and they cap tie us. So my Palkia has done plenty of work here. We got a shield. Togekiss is practically knocked out here. We're able to knock it out with Scizor. They bring Turtonator back in. So we're going to swap into Dialga now. Dialga does have to shield pretty much everything here. These Incinerates are absolutely nuts. They bring in Scizor, and this is looking a little bit dire, right? Scizor does have to shield everything, but they do get this farm down here. So I have to tank a move and shield a move here. I should have tanked the first one, of course, but it doesn't really matter because if they boost, we just lose the game anyways. And I have to be one off of the Night Slash, right? My opponent boosts there. Again, it doesn't really matter. I have to be one off of the Night Slash to win this game. And we get there, which is really cool, right? Wrong. We actually lose the game. I guess the Turtonator IVs do matter there, but honestly, we played that as well as we could have, so I'm pretty proud of that regardless. We see Whimsicott in the lead, which is an absolute garbage Pokemon. Do not use Whimsicott. And they swap into Empoleon, which is not a garbage Pokemon. In fact, it's a really scary Pokemon for my team. I should have brought in Dialga here. I kind of messed up bringing in Palkia. I kind of just sack it now because I realized my mistake. I can't really invest into this Palkia since it has no play into Whimsicott. So I'm going to bring in Dialga. I'm going to tank one, shield one, and get this farm down. Let's see what my opponent wants to do. Oh, actually, they don't even get to a second one, so that's amazing. If they bring in Whimsicott, I think I'm going to swap out. It's a little bit suspicious, right, that they want to bring in Whimsicott into a loaded Dialga. So I'm going to swap out, save my energy, and it's actually a Weezing in the back. So my opponent was running ABA Fairy, an absolutely crazy lineup to run in a Steel meta. But I guess we'll take it. They throw the Sludge, we shield that. We actually cap tie the Whimsicott on the Night Slash. But regardless if they shield this or not, we can just combo play them with the Iron Head. And that is a good game to my opponent there. Dialga, dude, I mean, the amount of cleanup potential Dialga has, the coverage is just so nice. Unless you see a ground type, because all the ground types in this meta are ground steel types, you're going to have a decent time. So here's my play, right? We actually farm all the way up to the Iron Head after a Bullet Punch, and we throw it. My opponent is kind of forced to shield. They probably don't know their damage ranges or not. They actually overheat, so we can bring in Palkia right away and start farming up energy. This is a little bit scary. Azumarill comes in. Maybe I should have waited my clock a little bit longer, but we're able to throw an Aqua Tail and then bring in Scizor. None of this is going to knock out, so we don't really have to shield here. Scizor waving hi to Azumarill. I actually overfarm a little too much here, but an Ice Beam should still knock us out. Should still not knock us out. And we're able to get this Trailblaze off just to get rid of this Pokemon. They actually bring in Tina for an energy lead, which is a little bit weird for me. I feel like you just get the Incinerate lead with Turtonator, right? Like a Brutal Swing will probably cook me anyways. But they bring in Tina. We're able to force a shield with the Aqua Tail. They Ancient Power. And at this point, I know that the fast move pressure from Tina is going to be a lot more than from Turtonator. So I want to throw my energy right away. They bring in Turtonator. They realize they're going to get farmed down. And my opponent concedes the game. But yeah, that was a decent game. All right, on to the next one. We see Weezing in the lead. I absolutely love this. This is my favorite Pokemon to see in the lead. Unfortunately, we see a Alolan Dugtrio save swap, which is absolutely phenomenally bad for us. This Pokemon, it kind of just cooks our whole team. Honestly, if Alolan Dugtrio had a little bit more defense or HP or something, I think would be absolutely cooked. But we are able to double shield farm this thing all the way down. Let's see what they bring in here. They bring in a Bronzong, and honestly, like, this energy is going somewhere, right? So maybe we still have a chance at this game. I'm gonna throw a Bullet Punch and then the Night Slash. I realized this might have been my loose con, although getting this cap tie is really decent for us because we burned the energy. But unfortunately, I had to overfarm against this Weezing, which I didn't do very much of. I should have done more for sure, but I didn't want to have to tank a move because I have to tank 2 moves from this Bronzong, right? They actually have payback and we lose the game. I thought they would be on Bulldoze and Psyshock, but since they have payback, then we kind of just lose that game. We see Latias on the lead in the next match. They bring in Empoleon. Again, very, very spooky Pokemon. Maybe I will actually bring in Dialga here, which I do. We actually catch a move, which is really decent for us. They Hydro Cannon, which is definitely the play. If they went for Drill Peck, we'd be a little bit healthier. But at this point, we should be able to one shield farm down, like I said in the previous game. And we have all this energy to threaten the backline. They bring in a Corviknight, so maybe they think they wall our energy, right? That's absolutely nuts. We actually get almost a full knockout there. Unfortunately, this Corviknight does have some energy, so I have to bring in Palkia to be able to snipe them down, right? They bring in Latias here. I'm gonna throw my energy, and I kind of make a mistake. I should have thrown it right away, right? Because this Latias, what they're doing is that they want to get to back-to-back moves, so that the shield on my Scizor doesn't matter, right? So I have to shield my Scizor to force them to throw energy right away, and hopefully we can Dragon Breath down with Palkia, baby. Let's freaking go. On to the next game, we see another Turtonator lead. There are so many of these. It's creepy. This Pokemon, they actually waited a turn to see if I stayed or not there. So I throw a Bullet Punch. Now they start the Incinerate, and now I swap out. So a little bit of a tricky matchup for my opponent there. They kind of didn't know what to do exactly. They bring in Empoleon. They actually let us get to another Iron Head. Maybe they were trying to throw right before we got to the Thunder, but we get that Cap Tie. This should totally knock out. And I feel like Dialga has done plenty of work here. We actually got that Turtonator really low. And now I'm just going to sack my Scizor, bring in Palkia, and I should be able to farm everything down, including that Empoleon. If the Empoleon comes in, I do want to keep my shield, right? I'm a little bit spooked of what could be in the back. So if I can force their shield and not use my own shield, maybe I can outpace whatever is back there and just knock them out. And lo and behold, it's a Stunfisk. This is the first one I've seen, so I'm pretty glad to see it. I kind of wanted to see the Aqua Tail land, but oh well. Yet another Azumarill lead. People play this one really like consistently. We throw the Trailblaze. They throw on alignment to get their move off, and then they try to snipe with some garbage Pokemon they have back there. For example, Turtonator. Turtonator isn't a garbage Pokemon, but you know what I'm saying. People just like sniping. They actually throw right away, and this is a Brutal Swing. We should be able to like still get to double Aqua Tail and yeah, not really struggle in this matchup. Palkia has a very dominant matchup here. So let's see what they want to bring in. They bring in a Dedenne, which is definitely a scary Pokemon for this team. Sorry about that. So Dedenne comes in, they do shield the Aqua Tail, and I'm considering like, what do I want to bring in here? I probably want to bring in Scizor, right? I'm gonna have to shield these parabolic charges, which are of course insanely threatening for us. And maybe we have to make a catch here, no? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we actually make the parabolic charge. We swap one before we get the Night Slash. I just feel like people usually want to swap before. If they make a catch here, it doesn't really matter. We can just fully undercharge and Dragon Breath this Azumarill all the way down. And we'll have a lot of energy ready for this Dedenne. They're going to have to throw right away, which is going to put them a little bit too far from the moves they need to get to. So we can just get to the Trailblaze, and we are going to take, once again, this game. Very, very cool stuff there. Honestly, Dialga is such a fun Pokemon. I'm so happy I have a decent IV spread for it. Alright, we see the Scizor Mirror on the lead, and you guys know I'm really proud of winning Captai, but that does not happen here. Very unfortunate for me. I actually have 5 attack on my Scizor, so losing Captai is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this has to be like a 15-0-0 Scizor or something. So we're going to catch the second one here. I want to save my Scizor a little bit just in case there's a Fairy type in the back. I want to make sure I have a little bit of play into it. My opponent brings in a Azumarill, and we can actually Captai on the Thunder. So if they want to shield this, be my guest. But if they don't, then all right. This is just going to set up an amazing farm down for my Palkia. Check this out. We get about 14 Dragon Breaths out of that farm down. My opponent brings in Altaria, and you guys already know Altaria is not a Palkia counter. Look at these Aqua Tails, bro. We combo play with the Night Slash. My opponent shields the Night Slash, which honestly, I don't even know if it's the right play or not. I feel like Night Slash probably does less than Aqua Tail here. I haven't looked that up. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Breath plus the Aqua Tails, easily knocking out this Altaria. And we're able to take this game insanely comfortably, regardless of the HP left on our Pokemon. All right, another Azumarill lead. And you guys guess how they're going to play this out. I'm going to throw the Trailblaze. Do they throw on alignment and swap out? Let's see. Oh my god, they throw on alignment. What the hell? Are they gonna swap out though? Oh my god, they swap out. Absolutely insane. Very non-predictable moves by my opponents here. They actually have ground dragon in the back. They bring in a Flygon, which is an insanely cool pick. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not actually going to shield this. If they were scared of my Caesar, they must be scared of my other steel type. So I'm just going to sack Palkia. I can't really deal with a Sumeru with the Palkia. I can definitely deal with it with my Dialga. So let's see what we can do. We got to shield up. We knock out the Sumeru. Lo and behold, it's actually a Garchomp. This team is insanely based, okay? I know the Azumarill lead is a little bit cheesy, but double shadow ground dragons in the back, that is absolutely cool, dude. I can respect that. On to the next game, we got another Tina lead. I will definitely take that. Not a lot of Caesar leads, I'm surprised about that. We actually bring in our hard counter into Turtonator, which is the correct play. And we're able to cap tie them. So if they want us to shield, they have to shield themselves first. And after that Dragon Claw, we should be able to fully farm them down here. If they bring in Giratina, I mean, they're going to be taking chunks out of their HP with these Aqua Tails. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I want to save this Palkia, right? They're playing this a little bit weird. I don't think I have to shield my Caesar here. So I'm just going to let this go. Throw the Night Slash right away, knock this Pokemon out. And we still have a full health Dialga. We have a shield. We have a Palkia back there. And yeah, it's just a Weezing in the back. So thankfully, I did save my Caesar. I feel like we still would have won this game regardless. But Dialga, the pacing isn't great. So I didn't want to be in a position where I had no fast move pressure. Another Azu lead, and this guy actually stays in. Actually swaps out instantly. I make a little bit of a mistake here. I kind of throw an alignment there, but at least I put this thing a little bit under half HP. So I wanted to play this different because, again, these Mud Slappers, dude, they're insanely scary. The power they have is crazy. So we force a shield with Caesar, and now we're able to get the knockout with Palkia, unless they want to go down 2 shields. They bring in a Sumeru because obviously they just want to farm us down if they can, but to be fair, they really can't. I'm going to bring in Caesar. My opponent mistakenly throws energy here. Honestly, I was not going to get to another move, so I can definitely appreciate this play. And now I'm just waiting down my clock a little bit. I'm going to bring in Dialga. I should be able to get to a Thunder before they get to a second move. So I'm just going to severely overfarm here. They actually bring in a Magnezone, and we've misaligned the clocks just enough that I can force a shield here. And I'm hoping that an Aqua Tail should be enough to knock this thing out. So let's see. Oh my god, that is so much damage. My opponent brings in a Sumeru, and you already know, baby, we have to go for this freaking Fire Blast. This does do a little bit more damage into this Sumeru. It actually does, let's see, about 9 more damage total. So, yeah, very decent plays there. I'm very happy with that game. All right, we see another Azumarill lead. Very, very creative. Let's see what we can do here. I'm sure my opponent is just going to tank this, throw in alignment, swap out. Very, very classic stuff here. They bring in Turtonator, we bring in Palkia, and everything is just going according to plan, right? I'm never going to shield this move. I don't have to shield a Brutal Swing. We all know that already. We can farm up to the back-to-back Aqua Tails and cap tie them here. Honestly, if they want to shield this, be my guest. I don't mind getting farm on Dialga. But they don't. So they actually bring in a Azumarill. I can farm up to the back-to-back Aqua Tails again and just have a move ready for the backline. It's the Dene in the back. I believe we've already seen this lineup, right? So my opponent shields, we bring in Caesar. I'm going to cap tie them to the Trailblaze. This should force out their shield. And at this point, I should have just no-shielded this and get to an Iron Head with my Dialga. But I got a little bit paranoid that if Iron Head didn't knock out, the Dragon Breaths wouldn't either, right? So I actually stay in, I throw the Night Slash, I get them to an insanely low amount of HP, and this should be all of their energy too, right? So they shouldn't get to the Play Rough here. We actually Dragon Breath them down before we get to the Iron Head, and that is a good final game. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Honestly, it was an absolute blast to make it. Shout out to Home Slice Henry for kind of pushing us to use this team. I think we did really well with it. I unfortunately don't think it's going to have much more play in this meta. This Fantasy Cup meta is kind of evolving a little bit quickly. People are realizing Mud Slappers don't have too many counters other than like Turtonator and such. So I'd definitely be a little bit careful if you're running this team. But nonetheless, an insanely fun lineup to run. If you have these 2 Shadow Legendary Pokemon, I would recommend you try them out because They are just so crazy cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Once again, go ahead and check out all my socials. We got Instagram, X, TikTok, Twitch up there. We have been streaming almost every single day. We just don't stream on weekends. Yeah, we also have a link tree in the description below. So if you want to join all of the other stuff like Discord and stuff like that, feel free to click that link down there. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.